ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to yet another episode of the GC Informer. As you can see, I finally moved into my room and have all my stuff, so this is going to be my new recording setup, at least for now. Anyways, we have some great stories to get into, so let's get right into it. First things first is that it is the 10-year anniversary of the Witcher series, and to celebrate, CD Projekt Red released a video kind of telling the story after the latest Witcher 3 expansion of Geralt, Ciri, and all the other characters. It's a touching little video where Geralt basically narrates his thanks to the player and everyone who helped him out. He's like, yo, we've been through a lot, you and me. It's emotional, kind of cheesy, but that's the kind of stuff we've come to expect from the Witcher series, and it's really a great thing to do. You know, they really didn't have to do anything like this. They kind of went above and beyond like they usually do with their games. We all know that there probably won't be another Witcher game for a while, aside from the upcoming standalone Gwent game, so it's nice to see the series kind of end off on this note. I'm excited for the Cyberpunk game they're working on though. Final Fantasy 15 is getting some more kind of DLC, only this one is a physical thing. There is a beautiful new Final Fantasy 15 art book available for pre-order. It's a massive 220-page book that has scenes not only from Final Fantasy 15, but also from the movie Kingsglaive that kind of tells the story before the events of the game. A lot of the art is never before seen, and it's kind of a must-buy for any Final Fantasy 15 fans. Much like games nowadays, there's a normal edition and a deluxe edition. The normal edition is $49 while the limited edition is $169, and it also comes with 2 exclusive prints and an additional collector's box. Also, the first 500 limited editions come with a certificate of authenticity, which is really cool, and that's something you may want to jump on. We also still have a few extra DLC packs coming for Final Fantasy 15, such as Episode Ignis and the Brothers, I think it's called? Multiplayer DLC. Comrades, that's what it is. The Comrades multiplayer DLC. The massively popular MOBA League of Legends is reworking its rune system and currency system for the 2018 preseason. Basically, the runes and the masteries in the game are being merged into one system. Instead of choosing a bunch of minor runes and throwing them into sort of a skill chart, players will now be able to choose only 6 runes, but these runes will have massive changes instead of just minor stat boosts. These runes will then be separated into keystone runes, major runes, and minor runes. You can only take in 1 keystone rune, which is the most powerful, while major you can only take in a few more, and then minor are similar to the runes that we know now. The level 30 level cap is just getting completely removed, and then the 2 currencies, influence points and blue essence, are being merged together. Now you can get loot boxes, or capsules, Snowy's favorite things, that give you shards that you can spend on heroes or emotes or other things in the game. These changes, along with a few more, are expected to come later this month. Loot boxes. To be fair, I recently read an article that kind of justified loot boxes a little bit. It was the Fortnite developers talking about how much money it costs to make a game nowadays and how you have to sell sometimes as much as 12 million copies just to break even with those games. So it does make sense to a degree why some of these games are adding in loot boxes and microtransactions. There's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it. All depends on the developers in the game. The publisher of both Starbound and Stardew Valley, Chucklefish, just teased a new game, and they're calling it basically Harry Potter meets Stardew Valley, and if that doesn't sound like the greatest thing ever, I don't know what does. There's really not a lot to go off of right now aside from a still and then a prototype trailer that was released sometime last year. Regardless, it looks really good so far, and I think it's safe to say that people are very hyped for this type of game. And last but not least for today's news, Lawbreakers is getting a whole bunch of updates. The game is getting 2 new maps, a feature called Skirmishes, a new ranked mode called Boss League, a new class, and then a promise of new rapid fire updates that will just keep coming to the game. Of course, this update will be free, as will all updates for Lawbreakers. And for those who don't know, the game is available on PS4 and PC for $30. Lawbreakers is sort of interesting because the game was pretty hyped because, you know, Cliffy B and everyone knows him, and he hyped it beyond belief. And everyone knew about it, you know, all the big outlets reviewed it, coverage was everywhere, but for some reason the game just has the smallest player base. Like, it shouldn't have such a small player base. Remember when Brink went free to play a couple weeks ago? Yeah, that day, Brink had more people playing it than Lawbreakers did, and if I'm not mistaken, that was like a week after Lawbreakers came out, or maybe the week of it. That's ridiculous. I don't know why that is, because people seem to be really liking the game for the most part. It doesn't seem like my type of game. I still have to try it myself. You know, I'm always open to trying any game once, but that's really surprising for this sort of game, especially one that received this much coverage alone. Anyways, it's good to see Boss Key still working on updates and bringing content to the game. Maybe we'll see something similar to Rainbow Six Siege, where the game becomes super successful a year in after all of its content updates. Anyways, folks, that's about it for today's episode of the GC Informer. As always, hope you enjoyed, and leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Love seeing what you guys have to say on all these news stories. Thanks again for watching, and don't forget to check out all of the other GameCast content we have here on the channel.